In our story for today, the Israelite people had been wandering the desert for 3 months, and God had provided them food and water. And now in this story, God provides them with a set of laws or rules that they needed to follow. These rules help them understand how to respect and worship God, but they also help them understand how to live in community with one another. Some of the rules had to do with their relationship with God, but others had to do with their relationship with other people. The Israelites were in the desert of Sinai, near the mountain of Sinai, and Moses went up on the mountain to meet God. And God told him to go and tell the Israelite people that they needed to follow these rules, because God had done so much to provide for them. And so Moses went down and told the people that they needed to prepare themselves. For 3 days they cleaned and they washed their clothes and they made themselves look presentable. Because meeting God, even getting close to God, is a really big deal. And so they prepared themselves. And eventually, after 3 days, Moses went back up the mountain, and the people stayed right at the bottom. And Moses was on the mountain, and smoke filled the sky, and there was thunder, and there was lightning, and there was the sound of a trumpet that kept getting louder and louder, and the people at the bottom were really afraid. But Moses was on that mountain, and God began to tell him the rules that God had for the people. And the first 10 are really important. We call them the 10 Commandments. And we're going to learn about those 10 Commandments in the rest of this video. But first, I want you to take a look at printout page number 1. And there you'll see that there's a box where you can draw a picture of what you think it looked like when Moses went up on that mountain. So we'll pause the video so you can draw that picture. Here's a look at my drawing. Remember, I would love to see your drawing. Take a picture and have your parents send it to me. Have you ever wondered how a house is built? Well, if you look at your house, you'll see that there are walls and there's a ceiling and there's a floor. But underneath of that, there might be a basement. And that basement has concrete sides. And those sides are called foundations. And the foundation is the thing that holds the whole house up. Well, the 10 Commandments are the foundation of all of the rules that God has. They are what keep everything standing upright. And so that's why the 10 Commandments are so important to understand and to follow as best we can. And so we're going to learn a little bit about the 10 Commandments now. The 10 Commandments. 1. There is only one God. There are no other gods except for God alone. This is really important. This was so important for the Israelites because they were surrounded by people that had lots of gods. And so it was easy for them to feel like maybe they need to worship this God or that God. But God wanted them to know that God was the only God. So there is only one God. 2. Worship only God. Again, all the Israelites were thinking that maybe they should go worship another God, but God wanted them only to worship God. And the same goes for us today. If we worship baseball or basketball or a TV show or anything else, if we give all of our time and energy to that thing instead of God, then we're breaking this commandment because God knows that only God deserves our worship. 3. Always say God's name in love. Whenever we talk about God, whenever we say God's name, we shouldn't be using it with anger or using it with fear. but we need to say it with love. God loves us so much. And so it's important for us to show God our love whenever we say God's name. So always say God's name in love. 4, remember that Sunday is a special day. This goes back to the creation story when God rested on the 7th day. Throughout the Bible, this day is called the Sabbath, which means day of rest. And so Sunday is a special day, not just because we worship God in church, but because Sunday is meant to be a day where we take a break, where we rest just like God rested, so that we can be full of energy for the week ahead. 5, love your mother and father. This one is really easy to understand, but sometimes hard to do. We all get mad at our parents because our parents expect a lot of us. But it's important for us to love and honor our mother and our father because they were a part of creating us. They gave us life. And so we need to show them our love whenever we get a chance. 6, do not kill or do not murder. This one's pretty self-explanatory. 7, always love the person you marry. I know you're not really thinking about marriage right now, but someday you will. And so this commandment will be really important then. Always loving the person that you marry means that you reserve a special love for that person that you don't share with other people. 8, do not take what belongs to someone else. Put simply, don't steal. Stealing is never good because it's taking something from someone else. And whenever we take something, we hurt that person. And we don't want to hurt other people. 9, do not tell lies about other people. And also don't tell lies about yourself. Lies have a way of growing and growing and growing, and they can get out of hand. So it's best to try to be as honest as possible. And I know that this isn't easy at all. But if we can be honest, if we can tell the truth, then we will be better, we will be stronger, because we can trust one another. 10, do not want something that someone else has. Whenever we covet or want something that someone else has, it makes us not appreciate what we have in our own life. And so it's important that we are appreciative and gracious and full of thanksgiving for what we have, and not thinking about what other people have and how much we want it. Now that we've talked about each commandment once, we're going to see how fast we can read them together. We'll do it 3 times and see if you can keep up with how fast I'm reading. All right? Ready?
1, there is only one God. 2, worship only God. 3, always say God's name in love. 4, remember that Sunday is a special day. 5, love your mother and father. 6, do not kill. 7, always love the person you marry. 8, do not take what belongs to someone else. 9, do not tell lies about other people. 10, do not want something that someone else has.
1, there is only one God. 2, worship only God. 3, always say God's name in love. 4, remember that Sunday is a special day. 5, love your mother and father. 6, do not kill. 7, always love the person you marry. 8, do not take what belongs to someone else. 9, do not tell lies about other people. 10, do not want something that someone else has.
Knowing and following the 10 commandments will make you a better person. They will help you know God better. They will help you grow closer to God. And they will make you be a better person for the people around you. So write them down. Put them somewhere where you will remember them and see them and follow them the best you can. Because we all want to be better. I'll see you next week. Bye.